As Ripper from Altire Media, back again. This time, I'm not discussing a movie. Well, I am discussing a couple of movies, but not a trailer reaction or anything of that nature. Obviously, this isn't spoiler cast. Um, so I got a movie pass subscription card for Christmas, which was super awesome. It's been super handy and extremely useful. This week, I have seen four movies over the past 4 days. I've gone once every single day, which has been fantastic. Um, First movie I saw this week, which is my favorite so far, is The Greatest Showman, which was fan freaking tastic. The visual effects and the music and everything of that nature, just wonderful. If you haven't taken the time to see it, definitely go see it. The next night, I went and saw the movie Commuter or The Commuter. There with Liam Neeson. It's a lot like Taken, but not really. And he's on a train because it's a commuter train. It's about as it's about what you'd think that would be. So, not bad. Not like, oh my god, this is like groundbreaking stuff, but not like, I don't know. It was it. Next night I saw I, Tonya, which wasn't what I expected it to be. I recognized that there were supposed to be portions, or what I thought to be portions, that were going to be like this interview thing, and her like telling parts of her story, and then the others telling their parts of the story and different angles of things and whatever. They would follow a little bit, so they'd start telling a story, then they kind of jot off this direction, and then I don't know. It was there were parts that were really funny, and then there were other parts that were just like, meh. Um, some of the effects for putting her face over the top of the figure skater was a little odd, but another one of those things that wasn't really good and wasn't really bad, but this one where the commuter is more on the side of good, this one's more on the side of not good. Um, yeah, and then tonight, Hannah, Vera, I got talked into. Well, I didn't get talked into. I was sold on the idea of going and seeing a movie this evening to round off my week, and I went in kind of expecting it to be like this because these aren't the you two aren't the only, well, you're not the only person I'd heard that this was not a really good movie at all, and so I kind of went in with the mindset, oh, this is going to be kind of a bad movie. I was hopeful. I'm always hopeful that it's going to be a good movie, but it was Downsizing with Matt Damon, and like the only thing that, I mean, for me, the only thing that it's got going for it is the fact that it's got Matt Damon, but that's not like, I mean, he's in lots of things, and he's been in things that were garbage, and he's been in some things that were like, oh, those okay, but but that's just because you got a person. I mean, don't get me wrong, I had a few people that are relatively known, but he's clearly your big name there. But it's it's an environmental piece, but like they start to tell a story, and then they're not telling a story, and then they go off on this other tangent, and then they kind of resolve that. And like I said, this isn't spoiler cast, and I'm not going to give up all of the information for it. Um, I can tell you this: the movie was supposed to have started at 9 o'clock. It is now 12:15. I've managed to walk my dog and hang out with her for a little bit after I went to the movie. Man, it felt like it was like a 6 hour long film. Like there were a few moments where I'm over here going, I didn't miss anything, and I definitely didn't go to sleep. But at the same time, it kind of felt like 1 second he's like bebopping along, full grown. And next thing, he's like little, and somewhere in the process of all of this, he his wife divorces him, and then he meets a lady from Vietnam who's missing a leg, and he's a very unfocused movie. So if you would like to experience, um, sitting through an environmental lecture like you would in like high school or college, based off of not so factual information. So I mean, they're clearly going off with like sci-fi stuff. It's not like science fact stuff. And I get that there might be a little bit of overlap between science fact and science fiction here, but we're not going to get into the specifics of that. All I'm saying is that with this movie, um, it's the lecture part where you're sitting there and you're holding your head up and you're just waiting to bounce your face off the table so you can snap back to and be like, I'm awake, I'm awake, I'm fine. What? Um, if I ever owned that movie, the only reason I would watch it is strictly to fall asleep. That's it. And I I don't think aside from tonight, I don't think I'll ever make it through that movie again or have a desire to. I just, it was exhausting. That's about the best I got for it. So top of the list, we've got Greatest Showman. Actually, it's basically in order of the last couple of days. It started off really good and then progressively got down to the lower rungs 4 days later. I've still got more movies to see in the upcoming weeks slash months and so on down the line. But Greatest Showman at the top, number one for the week. Uh, the Commuter. Next is Tonya, and then follow it up right there at the very rear with Downsizing. The only other complaint I had about that is typically I go to locally. I go to the Alamo Draft House. Love going to the Alamo Draft House. Everything about what they do over there is like spot on. I walk in the door, they got a person there, they greet me. I walk up, I'm like, boom, here's my movie pass thing. This is the seat I want. I'm they give me directions to where it is I'm supposed to be going. I go straight to the back. I sit down. The guy's like, "Hey, can I see your ticket? Make sure you're in the right spot." I'm like, "Bam, here it is." There, you want something to drink? I get my drink. I get my food. Set my seat the way I like it. Good to go. No complaints. Tonight they were not playing Downsizing, and I knew that that was the movie I needed to go see. Um, so I had to go to another movie theater. And the only reason I went is because this one was on my list to go try to watch, and it was in town and it was playing, so I figured I'd give it a try. And I get over there, and the I, there's no one at the ticket box, my little booth area out front. It's cold. It is stupid cold outside, and I walk up and there's no one there. So I go inside and I walk over to the concession stand where they typically have ticket sales. And I'm like, hey, I need to get a movie ticket. And they're like, oh, they'll do that outside. Well, this dude comes walking from the ticket booth area, where I guess he was like in a little back room or something, to the concession stand. But because I was directed to go outside, I go back outside. I'm standing there in the cold, waiting, thinking this genius is going to come back, and he never does. So I'm standing outside waiting. Finally, I just step inside the doors, and I'm standing inside the glass until another lady walks over, and she's like, "Oh, can I help you?" And I said, "Well, I need to get a ticket." And they told me to go back outside, but he's not inside. She's like, "Oh, they'll get you over at the concession stand where they're selling tickets now." Pretty certain I was just there, and they told me to freaking go outside. So I go over there. I ask for my ticket. I get the thing. I'm making small talk, trying to figure out, hey, has there been a bunch of people for the movie? Am I looking at a packed house? Is there going to be a few people? Because I'm kind of gauging whether or not other people have received this well or whatever the case may be. And I already know the answer, but I figured I'd give it a shot. We stepped down to get myself some food because I'm hungry, and I was like, all right, I want some nachos, and I'm going to get some, like steak topping and some tomato and, the whatever, the cheese sauce stuff. freaking cold. I get it, and it's freaking cold. You know, I get a big ass Sprite, an extra big ass Sprite, and it's like half watered down as if it was like, I don't know. Just everything about it was bad. Just made me miss the Alamo. I just wanted to go back to my movie theater. It was a bad movie at a bad movie theater, and I was not happy about it. I just, on a side note, I recognized today that the spoiler cast episode for today, the Jumanji Welcome to the Jungle, hadn't uploaded yet. It is currently sitting over here. It's at 25%. This will make the fourth attempt to get it uploaded, and it has failed every time. I don't know why. It's at 27% now. Seems to be putting right along. Hopefully it'll go up. If it doesn't, I'm going to try to get that up on Monday because tomorrow I work again, and so it won't be till late. And I haven't decided on whether or not I'm going to see a movie for a fifth day in a row. So anyway, we're going to end the video right there. I think I might do this at the end of the week. Just as I see movies through the course of the week, I'm going to, kind of rank them amongst themselves of what it is that I saw, and then toss them out there to you guys saying, hey, you should totally see them, or avoid them, or whatever the case may be. And of course, if you have different opinions, that's fine too. Andrew over at Flick Freaks used to tell us on a very regular basis that, hey, if someone got joy out of a movie, good on them. It's just because he didn't find it doesn't mean it's a bad movie. And I'm in agreement. If I watch something and if you think something's good and I think something's bad, that's fine. Gave Domino a empty 2-liter bottle for her to play with. She's in there wrestling it around, if you can hear that. But anyhow, we're gonna leave it right there. You guys have yourself a safe evening. Have a good night. Bye.